Well, this should have been the year that Bombardier's biggest ever gamble paid off. The company's new small airliner was due to enter service and take on Boeing and Airbus, but it's been delayed again, and analysts are questioning whether the orders will ever come. Joining me, Bombardier CEO Pierre Beaudoin. Good to see you again, Pierre.
Good to see you.
It's been a tough year. We'll come on to the CSeries in just a moment, but what's this week for you? Is it about doing deals? Is it about doing deals on the infrastructure side?
Well, it's about relationship. I have customers from world leaders to people that represent cities, airlines are here, and of course private aircraft owners also.
Let's talk about the CSeries. We've got to do that. Investors are clearly worried about your cash position. Investors are worried about the series. Investors are worried we're going to see further delays. Investors are worried that the Boeings are going to steal a march. What do you say to those worried investors?
Well, it's a big program. We've been developing the aircraft for 5 years. We're into flight test now, so I'd say from a development perspective, we're really in the execution phase where I think most of the risk was in the development. The aircraft is very well accepted. We have 198 orders. We've given ourselves a target to be at 300 orders before first delivery, so we're almost there.
What do you make of the sector?
I think it's a good sector. You had a big downturn after the crisis, but activities picking up, and activity generates needs to be everywhere, and these planes are great planes.
But how and I'll put this to you, Steve, and then I want to hear what you say, Pierre. How does Bombardier win back the trust of investors in a climate like this, and given these delays that we're seeing?
Well, you saw the issues with Boeing. I mean, Boeing really dipped down when they had their issues. Boeing's a great company as well, and they came back. Bombardier has been making planes for years. So people are used to seeing the fact that this is a very complex industry. It's very complex to get these planes out. But what they really want is a great quality plane, and they're doing the right thing.
Okay,
I think taking the time to build it.
Okay, so you're giving him the benefit. You're giving him the benefit of the doubt, Steve, right?
Yeah.
You're giving him
Absolutely.
the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Are investors going to give you the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah, I'd just like to add also that if you look at our development program, we're actually 1.5 years to 2 years shorter than the programs you spoke about. So our program is doing well in terms of development. It takes a little bit longer, but it's got to be done right. We'll be delivering this aircraft for the next 20 to 25 years.
When's it going to come into service? I mean, is it late summer? Are we on
we're
track
saying
for that?
we're saying second half of 2015.
From a news perspective as well, I should mention you just announced, I think, what, 1,800 job cuts. Is that it, or are we likely to see more?
Well, we've seen a lot of growth since 2008. We've added about 5,000 jobs, even during recession time, because we're investing into our future. We decided to make an adjustment now more from an efficiency perspective. I feel now that we're looking at growth both in business aircraft and commercial aircraft, and definitely in the train business.
What about ground transport? Sorry, Steve.
Which one of those markets do you see growing faster, the business or the commercial? I know the business really took a setback in 2007, 8, 9, but I see it kind of coming back, seeing all the companies using these planes. Is that coming back faster than commercial?
Yeah, there's more and more global companies that are investing in corporate airplane to make sure that they can connect and see their customers across the world. In the large aircraft, we've seen it come back already. In fact, it didn't really slow down after 2008, large business aircraft. But what we're seeing now is the smaller business aircraft come back as the economy comes back in the U.S.
Can ground transport and the ground transport units make up for the lost revenue on the aerospace side?
Well, it's half of Bombardier's revenue. It's
right.
growing. There's a lot of investment in infrastructure, and I think this is a good growth area
Which
for us.
Last year you told me it's a great opportunity, Davos, to speak to country leaders about infrastructure projects. Right. Where is your greatest hope right now in terms of infrastructure? And let me ask you this, with Steve sitting next to you, is America finally going to get serious about rail investment?
Well, you asked me a growth. We just announced a big contract in Australia, in Queensland, $2.8 billion, big infrastructure project. There's more going on in Asia, of course. In the U.S., we're seeing replacement of systems that are aging. We just announced a big order in San Francisco, just modernizing the fleet of metros there. So I think America is serious about transit in the cities.
All right, Pierre, going to have to stop it. Thanks a lot for coming in today. Pierre Beaudoin.